Alright, welcome to another video. This one's going to be a little bit different. Today I'm going to be talking to you about Warframe. This is a game that I play a little bit on and off, fill some time. It's a great game, probably going to make some more videos in the future. Doesn't mean I'm not making Star Wars content anymore, but I've been doing some Railjack, getting it back up, getting into the new system that was introduced, 6 months, a year ago. Not really sure how long, but new to me. So in this video, we're going to be going over a crash course of how to make a kick-ass Railjack, how to fly it properly, how to blow everything up, and how to basically be the best at Railjack. So first thing, if you didn't already know, is you're going to look for a Cephalon on the market here, and you're going to buy that. You're going to build it. It's going to take you through a quest to build your Railjack. Once you've built your Railjack, you're going to be at your dry dock, and let's talk about how to get a maxed out Railjack, the things you're going to want to install once you farm them. So here's what I've got on mine, Zeki Shield Array. This is my favorite one for the quick recharging time on the shields. Vidar engines for that boost speed, Vidar plating. Again, it really doesn't matter which plating you use, just something that's tanky. And Zeki Reactor because it makes my battle mods a lot stronger and have more range, so that's a huge perk. The other thing you're going to want to do to everything you have equipped to make sure it's fully upgraded is you're going to want to go in and you're going to want to find other Zeki Shield Array Make 3 or something with the exact same thing. You're going to want to inspect it so that you actually know what it is. And then once you've inspected and identified them, you can do Valence Fusion on the one equipped. You can equip it, you can choose your options. As you can see, mine are already maxed out, so there's nothing I can do here. It will increase the stats as well as potentially giving you special new abilities. So make sure you do that for all of your items. Same thing with your armaments. You're going to go in here. You're going to want to make sure you use that Valence Fusion on all of them. I like Zeki Fodar on my nose guns because as a pilot, this is the gun that I just like using. I like the way that it fires and hits instantly wherever your cursor is. It's a beam weapon. I just find it very easy to use, good range, and I just like the playstyle more than caring about its damage. I put Vidar Pulsar on the other turrets. This is probably not the best one out there, but it's the one that I decided to put on. Use what you want, though. The other suggestion that I have been given is the Talon, Zeki Talons as well. And then for our ordnance, we're going with Tycho Seeker missiles because I really like that lock-on missile that just follows the enemy. Fairly simple to use. Sometimes it messes up, but most of the time works quite well. Now let's get into the mods. Let's talk about the must-have mods. So right away, Forward Artillery and Artillery Cheap Shot. These are your two must-haves. Definitely put them on. You want to try and be able to destroy those cruise ships in one hit, and you also want to try and reduce the amount of dome charges you need to build through a map. The other critical ones that we want to put on are Hyper Strike for turret damage, Predator for turret critical chance, and Section Density for turret critical damage. So you can notice our turrets, we really want to focus on the crit if we want to have them have max damage, but at the end of the day, you really don't need your turrets to be super amazing. That's not where most of our killing is going to be coming from. And then quality of life, I've got speed boost, ordnance damage, and rebel reducer. The only reason why I have rebel reducer is just because when I'm using the remote repair, I like using it for that. And then reduced breach chance, a little more tankiness on this one. Again, these are all ones that you can change around that I would say are quality of life depending on what you want. Conic Nozzle is a great one to swap out for. Now let's look at our battle mods. Seeker Volley is an absolute must-have. Definitely use Seeker Volley. We spam this to kill everything. End of story. This one is just great. And then the other two are pretty optional. I like Blackout Pulse because you can freeze enemy cruise ships in place, making it easier to get around, maneuver, shoot them, especially when you're playing by yourself solo. And then if we look, instead of Particle Ram, you could potentially use Shatter Burst. I've never tried it, so I don't know if it's actually any good. And Tether kind of sucks, so I don't use it. And I don't like using Munitions Vortex. Didn't ever like the playstyle of that. Tacticals, quality of life, really can pick whatever you want. I love Form Up. It's a quick way to get people back on the ship to finish a mission objective or teleport them when you're going between two different places and they're still inside of one area killing an objective and you've flown over to the other one and you're ready for them to come teleport there. And especially if they don't know how to use their Omni to teleport, it's a great way to get people back to the ship. I never use Death Blossom, have it on there, whatever. Battle Forge, again, never had to use it, but in the past, I used to find it useful. Alright, so now let's talk about Intrinsics. Intrinsics, I want to go over these in a little more detail because there are a lot of different options and they make a huge difference to how well you're going to do with your Railjack. General idea is that they're really cheap starting out, so you want to pick just a few abilities off of each before you worry about getting any to rank 10. But let's go over where we want to start. So piloting, get this to level 4 right away. This is all your maneuverability, your main boost. When we look at our tactical list, rank 4 I definitely suggest getting, allowing you to warp back to your ship with Omni Cannon. Engineering, we're looking at a similar thing. Really, rank 4 is all you need initially. Gunnery might be a little different. Gunnery don't necessarily need to go as high. I find that even just going to rank 3 for the Arcwing Slingshot or even rank 2 for the 360 cannons is enough to start with. Command, you definitely want to get, if possible, to rank 6 because it allows you to apply the maximum amount of extra competency points for your crew. Early on, you can get away with just having your one crew member with an extra competency point. In terms of which one you want to get to rank 10 first, I would say engineering is by far my favorite. Remotely repair onboard hazards. I would highly suggest getting this one to rank 10 before working on anything else to rank 10. And then for me personally, I like tactical rank 10 next because of the warp from ship to crew member. With regards to the command, you don't really need any of the lich or elite companions. Now let's talk about crewmates. So first slot, I always put engineer. Don't know if it just works out this way or if the game is designed to always boot your gunners first, but having him in the first slot here, he never gets booted until I have 4 real players in the game, so I've always got an engineer on the ship until we have a max squad. Engineer, you want to make sure that repair and combat is a total of 7 points, so when you spend your extra 3 bonus points, you're going to get both of those to 5. He will be your defender of your ship at the same time that he's set to an engineering role. And then any endurance that he can have is just a bonus perk. So, you know, if you could ideally get 5, 5, and 5, that'd be perfect. That'd be the optimal crewmate. If you can't, not a big deal. Gunners, really all you need is Gunnery 5. You don't need anything else other than Gunnery 5. It's up to you what you want to do here. So that is my kitted out Railjack. That's how you're going to have a maxed out Railjack. And now let's go into a mission. When we open up our navigation, you're going to click on the Railjack icon in the top right, and then you're going to have some options. If you want, you can do the skirmishes, which are the relic missions on Railjack, or you can go directly into a mission. Bale Proxima is the best place to go and farm all of your Make 3 stuff, all of your items and everything. This mission here has a blinking red light on it. It means there's an anomaly in it, which means a sentient ship will be in there. I always suggest picking a skirmish mission for the Grineer because Grineer are much easier to deal with than Corpus in my opinion. Alright, so we're loading into a mission now. The first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to give myself energy to be able to use my Seeker Volley. I really like playing my Volt with a Prime Flow because he has such a big energy reserve that I'm going to be able to spam a lot of Seeker Volleys. So if you look at the bottom right at my tacticals there, you can see the amount of energy I have, and you can also see the energy cost of those tacticals. As I shoot my Seeker Volley, that cost jumps to 300, and now it's coming down, 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 down. And when it resets back to 150, that's when I can shoot my Seeker Volley again. So this is how you do your max amount of damage, and you blow up everything with Seeker Volley repeatedly. Is just rinse and repeat. As soon as you've got your cruise ship in position to fire at it, jump into your forward artillery. This is the only way to finish it off and kill it. Aiming at the engines will actually do bonus damage, which almost always guarantees a one-shot. Do note, from any turret, you can still use your Seeker Volley, even if you're on someone else's cruise ship. Really great. Our ordnance can be used to take shields off of cruise ships if they happen to have one on them. And the way that my Seeker Volley ordnance works is if you look at the targeting there, you can see, boom, 4 little red things snapped into place on the corners of the diamond, and now it means it's locked onto that enemy. I could use my 1 to freeze it in place as well, and then hop back out. You can see my crewmates doing a lot of work. Those gunners are killing a lot of stuff for me. Seeker Volley, of course, still killing a lot of stuff for me too, and you can see all my tacticals are there. So I can press 3, shoot them from here. I can press swap weapon and have turrets instead of the forward artillery. You can see in the bottom left there, my ordnance charges are 0 out of 2. So if I bring up my tactical menu here, I've got to unlock so I can teleport around my ship. And now I can go to my forge, and I can upgrade it. So as soon as you finish this, boom, I've got 3 dome charges. It is done. You'll see the cooldown there. That just means until you can use it again to build something. So it builds immediately. Most of the time I don't build energy for my Warframe. I usually get it other ways, but that's one way to get energy back on your Warframe to be able to use more of those Seeker, and teleporting back to the front of my ship. Also from the tactical menu, if there were any hazards on board, I would be able to remotely repair one. And you can actually close the tactical menu while those onboard hazards are repairing. Here you can see a ram sled come in. Seeker Volley can deal with it, or your cruise gunners can deal with it. Now let's talk about movement. How do we move around? So we move around like normal. Use your mouse to steer, use your arrow keys to strafe or move forward and back. If you press your sprint key, you're going to get a speed boost. And then while sprinting, if you press your dodge roll key, you're going to get an even bigger speed boost. This is considered drifting. It can be very useful, especially when you want to get like around an enemy ship extremely fast. You can have your sprint on, and then if you're holding sideways and you press your dodge roll key, notice that? See that big drift swung me around the enemy really fast? Whereas if I'm not actively sprinting, I can press my dodge roll key, and it's kind of like a blink on the Arcwing. and you just make these smaller one-time movements. One thing to be aware of is, notice this missile platform is shooting missiles at me. Those can actually do a lot of damage and really make it hard for your cruise ship to survive while you're here trying to get this objective. So one of the things that can be quite important is just hide yourself behind a rock so you can't be seen by the platform, and that'll drastically reduce the numbers that are coming at you. A few other things I want to quickly note here from your tactical menu is you can actually view what the different crewmates or team members, where they are, what they're doing, and if you have it unlocked, you can even teleport them. You get to use your tacticals here, so on. And then the other really important thing that you can do is using your Omni Cannon to return to ship at any time. Let's say that I just finished the objective, so I'm like, oh, I'm all done. I want to go back to ship, so I just use my Omni Cannon right there, and that will take me back to my ship after a couple seconds wait. Alright, so we now got ourselves a hull breach. I bring up my tactical menu. I could go and repair it and click on this, and it would use Revlite, or I just wait for my engineer to wander over there and he's going to repair it for me. So as you can see, he's there repairing it, and I could even view him to see what he's doing. And it's been repaired, my hull breach is done, and this is why it's so helpful to have an engineer on your team, so you can quickly get around and be able to fly immediately after that hull breach is done before the next hull breach happens. Alright, so I really hope you like this quickish tutorial on how to fly your Railjack, how to be a complete absolute badass with a Railjack, how to have one that does the most amount of damage, and you find it as enjoyable as I do. As always, thanks again for any support you guys give watching these videos. Thumbs up, likes, all that makes a big difference. Still working on getting my channel up to the point where I've got 1,000 subscribers and enough watch hours to be able to actually earn some money off the monetization. It'll probably only be like 50 bucks a year, but hey, that's a lot better than the current zero I'm getting. I do have a Patreon page, so if you do want to support anything like that for me. And as always, have a great day, and we'll see you in the next video.